She stood at the crowded departure gate, clutching her backpack straps like they were the last thing holding her together, her bright yellow hoodie slightly oversized and her sneakers worn from months of saving bus money just to afford this flight. She was only 16, traveling alone for the first time, heading to see her mom who worked double shifts out of state. And she had been so proud buying the ticket with the scholarship funds she fought years to earn. But pride shattered fast as 3 airline staff at the counter exchanged smirks the moment they scanned her boarding pass, and the older one, a woman with sharp eyeliner and sharper judgment, tilted her head with an exaggerated pout and said, "Sweetie, next time you buy a real ticket, okay?" The girl blinked in confusion, warmth draining from her face as the other 2 employees laughed openly, one muttering, "Kids these days printing fake PDFs from the internet." Passengers in line stared, some with pity, some with amusement, none stepping in. The girl tried to explain, voice small, trembling, that the ticket was emailed by the Scholarship Foundation, but the older agent rolled her eyes dramatically and waved her off as if she were an insect. "Honey, people like you don't get sponsored flights. You need to step aside." People like you. Those 3 words hit harder than the humiliation of being laughed at, harder than the whispers forming around her. She clutched her phone, feeling her throat tighten as she stepped away from the counter, tears threatening but not falling. No, she wouldn't give them the satisfaction. She pulled up the number her scholarship coordinator had given her. "Call this if something goes wrong, anything," and hit dial with shaking fingers. The agent behind the counter snickered, hands on her hips. "Ah, she's calling Mommy." The phone rang once, twice. Then a voice answered, calm, professional, and threaded with authority. "This is Veronica Hale. What's wrong?" The girl exhaled shakily, explaining everything in bursts, how they laughed at her, called her a fraud, told her to leave. Silence on the other end. A dangerous silence. "Put me on speaker," Veronica said. She did. The laughter from the counter died instantly when Veronica's voice filled the gate. "This is Veronica Hale, incoming Chief Executive Officer of Ascendant Airlines. Who exactly is accusing my scholarship recipient of using a fake ticket?" The entire terminal froze. The agents' faces drained of color. The older ones stammered incoherently, while the passengers gasped and leaned closer, recording, whispering, realizing the girl wasn't just someone to mock. She had just brought the entire airline to its knees with one phone call, and the storm was only beginning. The silence that followed Veronica Hale's announcement rippled through the gate like a shockwave, passengers straightening, phones raised, eyes wide as the 3 airline agents froze mid-breath. The older one, sweat now forming along her hairline, opened her mouth to defend herself, but Veronica's voice sliced in before any excuse could spill out. "State your name." The agent swallowed, voice cracking. Linda Marston." A pause. "Linda," Veronica said with icy control, "did you personally tell a minor that her verified ticket was fake? Did you humiliate her publicly? Did you imply she fabricated a scholarship issued by my corporate office?" Linda's eyes darted frantically around, searching for support, but her coworkers stepped back, as if standing near her might implode their careers. Passengers murmured. Some whispered, "She mocked her." Others said, "I saw everything." A father holding his toddler spoke louder. "They laughed at her, all 3 of them." Linda's voice shook. We just thought sometimes kids try to sneak." "Enough," Veronica snapped, and the air itself felt colder. "You thought she didn't belong. You assumed she couldn't afford this ticket. You made her the punchline of your bias." A gasp rippled through the crowd. The girl, still trembling, watched as the power dynamic flipped like a collapsing tower. Veronica continued, voice deadly calm. "My flight will land in 18 minutes. You will personally escort her to the premium lounge. You will apologize, and you will not speak to another customer until I arrive." Linda tried. "Ma'am, please." "You're already on camera," Veronica cut in. "Every bystander here has recorded your behavior. Not even HR can bury this." A man in a business suit shouted from behind the crowd, "Post it! People need to see this!" The employees flinched. Another woman added, "Treating a kid like that? Disgusting!" Shame pooled thick around the counter, and for the first time since the ordeal began, the girl felt the weight on her chest loosen just enough to breathe. Linda stepped out shakily from behind the desk, her forced smile brittle as she motioned for the girl to follow. But passengers blocked her path, unwilling to let the humiliation be swept aside. One woman asked the girl gently, "Are you okay, sweetheart?" She nodded, though tears rimmed her eyes. As Linda attempted to lead her away, Veronica's voice came through once more. "And Linda, security will meet you at the lounge. You will remain there until I arrive. Do not attempt to leave." The call ended. The terminal erupted. Whispers, shock, cameras capturing history. Passengers who moments earlier watched silently were now witnesses to the downfall of staff who mistook cruelty for authority. And the girl, still shaken but no longer alone, walked toward the lounge with a crowd forming around her, not out of mockery, but protection. When Veronica Hale stepped off the plane 18 minutes later, her presence alone seemed to bend the air around her. Tall, sharply dressed, expression carved in granite as she strode through the terminal with 2 regional directors and airport security, trailing behind like an entourage of judgment. Passengers parted instinctively, whispers rising in her wake. "That's her, the new CEO. She came here herself?" Every recording device in the terminal tilted toward her as she approached the premium lounge, where the girl sat surrounded by sympathetic strangers and where Linda and her coworkers waited pale and trembling. The moment Veronica walked in, the entire room fell silent. She knelt beside the girl first, ignoring the staff entirely, her voice impossibly gentle. "You did everything right." The girl's lip trembled as she whispered, "I didn't want trouble." "You didn't create trouble," Veronica said, brushing a comforting hand over her shoulder. "You exposed it." Then Veronica rose slowly, turning toward the 3 employees, her expression hardening into something merciless. "I reviewed the security footage," she said. "I listened to witness statements. I saw how you treated a child who trusted this airline." Linda tried to apologize, but the words fell apart as Veronica raised a hand. "Save it." She nodded to security. "Escort them to the administrative wing. Their employment is terminated effective immediately pending formal misconduct investigation. Their badges stay here." Gasps rippled through the lounge. Security collected their lanyards as the women pleaded, their voices rising in desperation, but no one, not a single passenger, stepped up to defend them. As they were escorted out, Veronica addressed the room. "Let me be absolutely clear. This airline will not tolerate discrimination, humiliation, or abuse of authority. Not one more child will be treated this way under my leadership." She then turned back to the girl. "And as for you, you'll be upgraded to first class for life. Not because of pity, but because you reminded us what accountability looks like. You did something adults are often too afraid to do." The girl let out a trembling breath, overwhelmed but safe at last. And as Veronica prepared to escort her personally to the gate, a wave of applause broke out, slow at first, then roaring, echoing through the terminal like the sound of justice snapping into place. What began as humiliation had become a corporate reckoning, and the world would soon know that a single phone call from a brave girl had brought an entire airline to its knees. If this story moved you, angered you, or reminded you how often power is abused against the vulnerable, don't let the message fade here. Share your thoughts in the comments. What moment shook you most? Was it when they mocked her publicly? When Veronica's voice filled the terminal? or the moment justice finally arrived and the entire room erupted in applause. Your voice matters. Your engagement tells platforms that stories about accountability, courage, and justice deserve to be seen. So hit that like button if you believe no child deserves humiliation. Share this video with someone who needs to be reminded that standing up, speaking up, can change everything. And if you want more powerful narratives that expose wrongdoing, uplift the unheard, and reveal the truth behind everyday injustices, make sure to subscribe. This channel isn't just storytelling, it's a mirror held up to society, a reminder that even one voice can spark change. Be part of that change. Add your voice. Keep the momentum going.